What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PKT Community Roundtable. Happy to see you guys all here. It's Wednesday, December 11th. We got Josh Berger, Jesse Berger, Caleb James Delisle. I'm Jeremy Berger. We have a special guest on today by the name Charlie Shrem. And when he joins, we will get right into it. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Yeah, markets are green.
Yeah, that was a scary little moment there for the last couple of days.
Yeah, indeed. It's been only the strong survive.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, well, it's also a lot of exciting updates for PKT. I don't know if everybody saw, but there was a tweet that went out yesterday that we have over 100 nodes up around the world.
That's great.
And basically 25 new nodes are going up a week, which is super exciting.
Yeah, so just to clarify, those are all CJDNS nodes, not domain nodes? Or did that include domains?
I'm pretty sure that it's just CJDNS nodes.
Yeah, it's just CJDNS nodes. For domains, it's got to be like 20 or 30 of them.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. We should have that added to the packetnode.network website. How many domain? That would be awesome to have a list of domains. You were just talking about which top level domains have been staked and getting some representation on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's already up. If you go to the domain site, then you can already see it. It will tell you how many are already up there.
Yeah, well, it's exciting. Mission on track. We the whole point was to incentivize people to spin up nodes, and people are doing what they're incentivized to do. So that's been really exciting to watch people take action, and the economics making sense for people to do it. And yeah, it's been cool to watch it all come to fruition.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, bravo. Hats off to the devs, in particular, Caleb, for your fortitude on that, getting that all dialed in, and then everyone else who's contributed to creating videos, creating websites, and just obviously the community for running infrastructure and doing the stake to earn.
Yeah, for creating an amazing website that tracks everything. It's so rad to see that just like come out of nowhere.
You want to bring Charlie onto the stage?
Yeah, let me do it right now. Sorry, I was just yeah.
Charlie.
Hey.
What's up, Charlie? How are you, man?
The man, the myth, the legend. We get him on $100,000 Bitcoin day too.
Looks like we're back at 100K right now, huh?
Yeah, we made sure we got you on this day. It was very important.
It's good. Thanks for making 100K happen on a Wednesday.
Yeah, Josh wanted to push the price up. He did a couple big market buys and just kind of made it happen for you, Charlie.
Surprisingly, it was only a few $100 billion that I had to throw in the market to move it, but you're worth it.
It's crazy.
Hey,
for anyone that doesn't know Charlie, Charlie's an absolute legend in the space, pioneer of Bitcoin. We can actually thank him for taking some bullets for us. Started BitInstant back in 2011 and basically had his door kicked in and got to serve hard time for us back when this was just pioneering the space. So now out and doing amazing things, has the Charlie Shrem Show podcast, which is anybody who doesn't subscribe should subscribe because it's awesome, has amazing info and people on it, and yeah, really stoked that you could join us today.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, cool. And for everyone who's watching right now, if you can go do a repost on this space so we can get it far and wide and reach out to your communities. Right now. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that. Yeah, everyone else who's listening, if you can just hit a like, a retweet, let's get this space popping. We know that after about an hour, we get up to about 100, 200 people. So if we can get there sooner, that would be epic because we got a lot of fun things to talk about today.
Yeah, well, one of the most fun things to talk about is we're here with Charlie, who basically got a long position going from that's up $99,999 right now. So
Right?
there you go. That's insane. Hey, so Charlie, so just to give people a little context for people who, basically been under a rock for the last, 13, 14 years. Just when did you get into Bitcoin? What was that number for you?
I got into Bitcoin in late 2010, early 2011 around. The price, it was during the years when you would see like 10,000 Bitcoin for like $1 or something on some Excel spreadsheet, which is how it wasn't really even traded anywhere in the normal sense of like how you would think now. Like people weren't even trading Bitcoin. No one really understood why people would buy and sell it even. It was more of like you had people that were buying Bitcoin and then you had people that had Bitcoin and wanted to sell it. And so that's why we started BitInstant. And I think the price was like, sub $1 for sure. I remember when it broke $1. I remember when it broke $10, when it broke $100, and when like my first bull market was when it was like my first bull market. It went from like 80 cents to like $36, and there's only like one exchange. So when I mean like this, it wasn't like you can go to Google or CoinMarketCap and type in like what's the price of Bitcoin. There was like one place, and there weren't that many holders like that really cared. It was more of like a long-term. The price was kind of looked at as like a long-term measure of our success, not, hey, we're all getting rich. Because really the liquidity in Bitcoin like was less than a couple $100,000 a day. So it's not like you were making like millions of dollars overnight and seeing millionaires and then dumping. Like Bitcoin was trading less volume than most altcoins today. So it was more of like just like a measure of our success. Like there were more people willing to buy it than there were that wanted to sell it. And there wasn't really like a reason to sell it because the price was going up, but there wasn't much liquidity and there wasn't much you can buy with Bitcoin at the same time too, only on the Bitcoin forums. There was a lot of focus. Like I remember like when Newegg.com, which was like a big computer website, started taking Bitcoin, that was huge. We're like all buying computer chips with Bitcoin. When that was one of the first ones, like when WordPress, I got a Holiday Inn to accept Bitcoin, my bar. There weren't even many websites that you could check where BitPay was the only one who was doing it at the time. So it was kind of like a very different world. It was very exciting. I didn't honestly think it would happen this fast. I didn't think, wish I had more, but I didn't. I always thought the bull and bear markets would be a lot more gradual. I assumed that, okay, every bull and bear market, you get a little bit more confidence and learn how to like trade the bull and bear markets. But now it's getting so big and everything. What the next bull and bear market looks like, I don't know. It's like kind of the last chance, the last bull market, maybe.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for the last like year or two.
But you think you'll just trade with the stock market moving forward, and that's just like now they're one and the same?
What's making the price go up is not just the fact that a lot more people are buying it and willing to hold it, and there's the institutional side of things and everything. But the price of Bitcoin is set on these exchanges that have the liquidity of spot Bitcoin. There's just not a lot of Bitcoin being sold on these exchanges anymore. Right. Being listed there, being sold. It's hard for exchanges to even get Bitcoin there for people to sell it. So it's a very difficult thing, and a lot more people are just holding it. So, but like, if you look at it on a larger scale, going from 10,000 to 100,000 is a 10x. Going from 100,000 to 1 million is now a 10x. Right. So like every bull and bear market, it gets smaller how much how much Bitcoin grows and the whole market cap grows. We went from like 500 billion to 3.6 trillion in like 4 or 5 years, but it's like it gets infinitely smaller. So by the time we hit a certain number, those bull and bear market numbers won't
Sure.
be as fluctuation as. But by that time, I mean, going from 0 to 10, but 0 to 100 is 100x, and 0 to 1,000 is 1,000x. Like, and then from 1,000 to 10,000 is only 10x.
Right.
So it's like I'm looking at it from that perspective.
Sure.
I think it's logarithmically or whatever.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, but it's interesting though, because you still have the opportunities with the altcoins, and that's kind of
that's the
watching best. With the altcoin season now kicking off, and you're seeing the Bitcoin dominance coming down and the altcoins going up. I mean, that XRP run was just like stupid. And yeah, you're just seeing kind of projects starting to pop off like crazy, and we'll see even more of that now that the government is starting to bring some of those projects into the White House, which also just seems crazy to think. When I'm obviously not in as long as you, but back in like 2017 when I started paying attention, like that just seemed like it would never happen. And now to see them being brought into the White House to be advisors on
the world.
Yeah, it's just wild.
What a world we live in, right? It's like amazing that's happening and everything. I'm really excited for this administration. Like, it's just, if you dive deep and look on who they're hiring and who these people are, everyone wants to see some change, and change will bring volatility and it'll be scary, but it'll also bring like crazy trading opportunities at the same time. And all these different industries that operate in crypto and all the altcoins, it'll present crazy opportunities. And it'll be interesting to see what sectors of crypto get regulated or deregulated or laws clarified first. It'll be interesting to see where all that goes.
Yeah, no, totally. And yeah, that's what's gotten us really excited. It's been interesting because we've been building PKT for a long time, and we've always had this kind of understanding of just like a decentralized internet and censorship resistance and all that stuff that's super important. And then now you kind of see the politics following suit on that, where that's becoming even more important and more relevant. So it's been nice to be building and letting the times catch up to us.
Yeah, you guys have been building this for a really long time and have been growing it, and so it's not like this is a new project. And how's everything going?
Yeah, it's been really cool. I mean, Caleb's been just in the trenches building stuff. And yeah, it's been a while since we've even talked. Because yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that's built. One of the really cool things, obviously we moved the project over to the base blockchain and been tapped into that ecosystem with the new stake to earn protocol. But we've been pairing it with infrastructure nodes, which is something Caleb has created that has made it so that people are getting paid to set up the network and running nodes all over the world. There's actually a map that shows all the nodes around the world that are being set up every day. And then we also have the ability to stake domains. So and we were actually just talking about this on the founders call, and we were just pretty fired up on this, like almost this realization. It's kind of like you're building things and then you like realize how dope some stuff that you're building is. But like now people can stake domains. And so you can stake top level domains that are pkt.com.net.org. And then you'll be able to claim domains within the Packet network. And so to be able to claim domains, all you have to do is stake Packet and pair that domain with your stake. Doesn't cost you any money. And then it will resolve through all the different top level domains. So
how cool is that?
That's
Shrem, awesome.
pkt.net.com.org, all the ones that are staked. And now your domain is free. I mean, think about how much money you spend on domains that you own, and you pay for them forever. Otherwise you want to get rid of them. So to have basically free domains that you could build websites within the Packet ecosystem, becomes pretty epic. Yeah, this is the online nodes right now all over
I'm
the
checking it
world.
all out right now. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's just starting to grow, and yeah, it's been exciting.
Yeah, and if you're in, you know,
Congratulations for having 28,000 nodes, man, that's hard to do.
Yeah, we got 105 online right now. If you look on the screen,
Wow.
we got this. These are the live CJDNS nodes, and yeah, just growing daily. It was actually just at 100 the other.
I gave a speech the other day. I was giving a talk here at a Bitcoin conference on Saturday, because someone was asking me about like nodes, and I was kind of a little bit shocked with how Bitcoin nodes, and I'll give a little bit of the history of why it happened, but the growth of Bitcoin nodes, and that's those are people that are running the Bitcoin software, not mining. I'm talking about node operating, and they were all together at one point: the wallet, the Bitcoin mining, and node operating. But stripping the mining out of it, the computational hashing of just checking for the difficulty hash, which you need the ASICs, but the actual like computers that are maintaining the ledger, the Bitcoin ledger, and in a decentralized way, which is what you guys are kind of doing here at the same time, that has plateaued. At some point, the amount of growth of Bitcoin nodes kind of plateaued.
Right.
And there's a lot. There's like 10, 15, 20, 30,000 plus Tor nodes that we don't know about. There's always tens of thousands online, thousands online. And I could be wrong about the exact number, but the point still stands. And I remember very early on, there was a lot of conversations in the Bitcoin space about like, how do you incentivize nodes? And it's a really hard thing to do. You guys have figured out a way to do it, but it was a really hard thing to do in the Bitcoin world, to a point where like, because Satoshi didn't build anything into incentivizing nodes, and at some point mining and node operating, the software is kind of split into two separate things.
Right.
When ASICs and stuff came out, and FPGAs and GPUs. So it's like, it's hard, like Casa node for Bitcoin is doing it, but like, other than like a religious feeling, it's hard to do that. So unless you're like contributing to running that decentralized media network that you guys are building here.
Yeah. Well, that's what's been interesting, is like, it's also been really cool being able to partner with a lot of different platforms. And we just did a partnership with Akash, partnership with Hybello. And so being able to get these DePIN infrastructure providers to support running packet nodes, and open that up to their communities, that's been really cool and rewarding. And then what we're building right now, which is super exciting, is the packet hub. And we already launched the hub, which I don't know if you've seen it, but we
go to your website right now. Check it out.
Yeah, if you go to hub.pkt.cash, we launched the hub, which is just kind of like the intro to it. But
this is so cool.
Yeah, but this is kind of step one. What we're actually about to release is the full expansion of this, where we're bringing in gaming, gambling, crypto, music, media, and now you'll have this like hub for discovery, where anybody can put a platform on there. I'm in the producers guild, and I was just at the at their holiday party, and we're just talking about like, where do you distribute content? You know, like, you're putting it on the big streamers and they're keeping all the money, and you're just like a hobbyist that's, working at Starbucks in the film business. And so like, how do you go, if you're going to go create a competitor, where do you just get discovered, and how do you bring traffic there, and where do you bring audience there? And so being able to create that hub that is a new place for discovery, where you're not just going on the World Wide Web and just searching, new content, which nobody's doing, creating that ecosystem. And this really opens up the opportunity to partner with all these, play to earn games, the different, media projects, media platforms, different music streaming competitors, and we've been just really excited about being able to have that conversation and create this ecosystem that anybody can participate in.
You guys really need to write a book about running a crypto company in a bear market and what it's like to be back in the bull market.
Yeah. I've been bottling my tears for a few years.
Look, now it's a different world. You can see growth. A lot of people are excited. You're going to see people are, I think, getting comfortable with the idea of also having a different physical device in their house that's part of some decentralized internet. So the world is definitely changing in that.
Yeah, no, indeed. Yeah, no, it's exciting too. Just the whole sentiment's changed. It's been it's just we in the bear market. It's just obviously it's tough, but in the bull market, everybody's a genius and a tech guru and a trading master. And on green days, it makes it even easier to be a genius.
I think that the truth is people are more open to projects like PKT at this point. Seeing a lot of the older projects kind of come back to life, and it breathes new energy into the projects that have been around through the bear markets and were launched 5 years ago. And also, things are so much different now than they were 5 years ago. As even things are a lot different than they were 10 years ago. But now we have institutional involvement. Now we have presidential and different type countries getting involved in crypto. So it just kind of opens up the playing field for everyone to participate in and have a share. And so with PKT, the awareness, growing the awareness on this project is really key, and getting it in front of people who may not even have ever even heard of this project. And once that happens, it's going to be just a cascade effect where people are going to be like, holy shit, this thing is, what does this do? And building a decentralized network ain't easy. And it's kind of hard to wrap your head around, especially if you're not a, tech person or, even understand how the internet works or,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're getting a lot of an influx of new viewers right now. And I was wondering, maybe you guys can just take a second and give a little bit of background on the company and yourselves and what you guys do. A lot of my followers are here. Hey, everyone. Thanks for being, and yeah, cause it's let's use this opportunity.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'll just give a quick pitch on it.
Sorry for interrupting you, bro.
No,
you're all good, brother.
Yeah. So Packet is a ecosystem of apps similar to Apple TV, but it's all built on decentralized infrastructure. And so building out a network that's powered by the people are economically incentivized to power the network. And you can run nodes all over the world. We're showing the node count as it's growing, and people can stake to earn to power the network. And then on that network, you can build anything you want. And the hub that we've created, which is hub.pkt.cash, that is the ecosystem where it all exists. And that's just a place for discovery in the crypto space where people can understand, can discover new platforms, and it's payment agnostic, even though the economics are built on Base, and this is a DePIN project in Base. The network itself supports all projects in all industries from Web 2 to Web 3, but instead of being built on top of AWS, it is built on the backs of the community, and yeah, it's been really exciting. Some of our background, we're from the film business. We've been making movies for 20 years. Jesse's done his movies have done over $1 billion in the box office, and Caleb invented CJDNS, which is actually 2 years ago was pushed into Bitcoin Core because it creates resiliency in the network. So when there's an adversarial ISP or government or whatever, that Bitcoin blocks can still be pushed to the Bitcoin network. And that's why CJDNS was included into Bitcoin Core back in the day.
And of course, CJDNS is the backbone to the packet network and really provides it absolutely provides the infrastructure of the mesh network. So
that's the key right
really
there.
exciting.
So that's the main difference. And when I explain to people is that, like, you have the current internet, which is here, and it's all based on like centralized data centers all over the world, and you have all these cables and everything running between them, and all the data and everything owned by us, and everything we're talking right now, and everything that we're doing, and all the monetization involved in this, except for the little slim pickings that we can get ourselves, is going to these big corporations, like the big four. But with this new internet that's being built from ground up, it really is being built in this kind of like decentralized way, and where everyone has not only their own vote, but also can, in a lot more of a free way, control the data. Like if you look at medical stuff and maybe mortgage and information like that. But here we're talking about decentralizing media, because when you guys release a movie or a TV show, I mean, you barely get any of the money that comes along with it.
Right. Yeah, totally. And even just at the base level of the internet, it's like, I don't want to spend $30 a month for a domain and then another $10 to have it privatized so some, phone marketer doesn't blow up my phone trying to sell me something just to be able to have a website up. Like that, the internet was always created to be a public service and a public utility for the world. And it's become so centralized. And even these projects that have all goodwill intention, building decentralized stuff, but you're building it on the most centralized infrastructure there is. Yeah. And so by distributing that around the world, you create this resilient network that is very powerful and censorship resistant and powered by the people. And so that becomes very exciting to be able to do all the amazing things people are doing in the crypto space, but to be able to do that on the infrastructure that's actually decentralized, and also having this hub where all that stuff is discoverable. Because it's cool if you're doing something novel and exciting, but like, where are you doing it? You're doing it in the corner of the internet and nobody can find you. And so by bringing all these great innovators together, it becomes pretty amazing, because now we can have a place where you can discover the amazing things that are being built.
And also,
I just want to highlight one thing that Josh said. And we had a call on Tuesday that we did yesterday. We were really brainstorming about how we can best market and promote some of the foundational aspects of the packet network. And one of the core foundational aspects of the packet network, and I just want to highlight what Josh was just saying, is the ability to set up decentralized domains in the packet network. And essentially what that means is, like, if and most people, maybe not everybody, has set up a website at some point in time. And when you do that, you have to go buy a domain. So you go onto GoDaddy or Namecheap, or when you buy your domain, your name.com, right? Now, if you get that domain, you now have to pay that registrar, whether it be GoDaddy or whatever, for the rest of your life if you want to keep that domain. And you can buy it for 5 years, you can buy it for 1 year, and then you're going to get a renewal. And as long as you keep renewing, you're going to keep ownership of that domain name. But there's also problems with that system because of the centralization around those domain names. It's actually possible for that registrar to revoke that name from you. We were just talking about a situation that if you were to, for example, have bought, let's say, Coca-Cola.com and Coca-Cola comes around and says, hey, that's ours. You have to give that to us. Like there's a world in which through a legal process, they can actually take possession of your domain name, even though you're the rightful owner of it. And that's because of the centralization. And so what Caleb's been building along the lines of what Charlie was just talking about with regards to a decentralized internet is the foundation of that is domain names and actually being able to own those domains and have them be truly censorship resistant. Now, a lot of people interpret censorship resistant to mean like, oh, well, does that mean you're going to be doing another Silk Road here? You're going to be, creating terrorist websites. Like, no, this just means that, like Josh said, I want to have the privacy so that when I set up my website, some telemarketers not just blowing up my phone and sending
Exactly.
spam mail to my to my address or I have to pay GoDaddy $13 a month for the rest of my life to protect my information, as one example of censorship resistance and privacy. And then the other example is just that I don't want to have to pay $50, $100, maybe some websites are even thousands of dollars a year for the rest of my life to maintain that website. And so in Packet Network, what Caleb's about to launch, and maybe Caleb, I know you're not feeling well today, but maybe you just want to kind of clarify this because you could speak to it better than I. But one of the things that's about to launch is the ability to create domain names in the Packet Network. The caveat is that this system basically uses a 3-level domain. So you would basically pick like your name and then .pkt, and then within the Packet Network, you would just be able to get to websites typing in whatever the name is, if it's your company name .pkt. But if you're just navigating from the regular internet, you would need to have also a third level, top level, basically the top level domain. So it would be like your name .pkt .agency or .foundation or whatever top level domain has been staked into the Packet Network. And so what is happening right now is individuals within the community are buying top level domains. So it would be Packet .foundation. They'll buy that from, like, let's say GoDaddy, and then they're staking that domain name into the Packet Network. They're responsible for maintaining the monthly expense or yearly expense of that top level domain, but they get now compensated by the Packet Network for staking that domain into the network. And it makes it so, like, Charlie, you could come along and go, I'm gonna take charlie.pkt, that's now your domain name, and no one could take that down, and anybody would be able to access charlie.pkt from any top level domain staked into the Packet Network if you were to come into the Packet Network to reach your website. And if you're reaching charlie.pkt, you would have to also include the top level domain, like the third level, let's say .agency or .foundation, or there's like now I think 50 top level domains that are staked into the Packet Network. So that provides unbelievable resilience, like makes it so people can take down these websites, and the cost for you to own that website in perpetuity is just maintaining a stake on the Packet Network. And it could be as little as, one packet, which is a tenth of a penny. So, and you don't have to pay it every year. You just pay it one time and just keep that stake, staked in. So this is pretty exciting. This is just launching now. And we're, seeing this as a new foundation for the decentralized web, where people can build, have that resilience, that global accessibility for these websites. And then, again, providing the foundation for all the different types of, media content, news, publishing, music, like whatever can be built here. Gets me up in the morning.
Yeah, and then the other side to it is opening the ability for content creators to release the content that they want to release and not have to, worry about being deplatformed. And so obviously people aren't going to, stop using their centralized, apps. But this is an alternate option as well. So it's like additional people will be able to, put their websites up. Even if somebody wanted to create the decentralized TikTok or decentralized YouTube, all this could live on the Packet Network and give people the ability to release their content through their platforms. And so the opportunities are endless, and we're just building out the foundation for it and giving it to the community to go ham and do what they want to do. So it's exciting times.
Yeah, selfishly, this infrastructure, it relates back to the movie stuff. And I know, Charlie, you've become extremely passionate.
It's a lot of fun.
Movies.
I feel like making movies is like starting crypto or Bitcoin startups in a way. Like you're making something fun for everyone. It's like almost like a reminder. If you're starting a business and you're not treating it as if you're producing a movie, then your business is going to fail. Because in a movie, like you have to really focus on your cast and crew being happy and pleased all the time, but they also have to work hard. There's like a fine balance. They can't take advantage of you, but you have to be firm. The budgets, like every dollar is literally like when you get startups, they raise money from us. They just go and they spend and they try to like spend to get to a goal. Whereas in a film, it's like, assume we have the goal today. How much money do we need to get there? Every nut and bolt is accounted for. And then with a film, it's like, it's just all these other things so like making these small films and working with you guys on some projects over the years, it's like almost like I don't know what I'd do without them. Like, I don't know what fun I'd have in life. Thanks to my wife that I could do them, but it's like, I don't know what I was doing with myself before making movies.
Yeah, it really is. And what's actually cool about movies, and it's a little off topic of crypto, is you have, it's actually kind of on topic because with movies, what I love is that everybody that gets brought onto a movie is an expert at one thing. Like they're really good at lights, or really good at sound, or really good at camera, or really good at acting, or really good at directing. But like they're not experts at all the other stuff. Maybe they have some knowledge on the other stuff, but that's not their like expertise. And you have this collaboration of experts that all come together to be really good at what they're doing. And by each person staying in their lane and doing what they're really good at, it allows for you to create magic. And that's just like this incredible experience from filmmaking, is really because you have to trust that person to be an expert, and you have to trust them to do their art and to do what they're great at. And you get to stay in your lane with that trust that that person's going to do it. Now, granted, some people aren't experts and that can go wrong, but that's also the excitement of the experience, because it's kind of like an extreme sport. It's like, we're going off this jump, we're either going to crash and break every bone in our body, or we're going to land and it's going to be the most exhilarating, magical experience ever. And it gives you that same kind of thrill, which I love about it. But yeah, what it's also actually been really cool experience with Packet, being in the Base ecosystem and being able to kind of collaborate with what Coinbase has created as far as that ecosystem.
Oh, nice.
But I wanted to actually chat with you about it, because you've been in the game since Coinbase started. What has that experience been to like watch that development of that platform and that company, and all the kind of leaps and measures that it's been able to accomplish?
I think Coinbase saw a couple of things happen. They saw Binance launch their own chain, Binance chain, at some point in the past. And then they saw the fact that all these new layer 2 blockchain, or even layer 1s, were being launched by startups and people that didn't really know what they were doing. A lot became successful, but a lot ended up becoming scams, or things broke and it didn't work out. And so Coinbase looked at that as an opportunity to create a blockchain, but also treat it almost like the Apple ecosystem, where anyone can develop and anyone can be involved, but there's a certain standard required for development. So it's almost like all blockchain. If you look at like all blockchains are like Android and Android store, and Coinbase with Base is trying to be like the Apple kind of development system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's really been successful so far, because a lot of companies thought that the way to go is like permissioned blockchains.
Mm-hmm.
But permissioned blockchains are essentially like blockchains that you yourself control and run. But what they learned is that no one wants to build on someone else's blockchain. They want to either build on like a community owned chain where if you own coins, you're involved in the voting, or it's like owned by some nonprofit or whatever, or it's something like that. And that's what Coinbase is doing really successfully.
Yeah, it's been great because, working with the Coinbase wallet, I think is excellent. And just the ability to bridge between Coinbase, bringing on, new users, because I've really been enamored with being able to bring in non-crypto people into the crypto space and having, and we did this really successfully when we launched Packet, is a lot of our first kind of early adopters of Packet were non-crypto people who this was their first crypto that they'd ever earned or ever gotten, because you were able to earn it and you didn't have to go through all the hoops that you got to jump through to be able to buy crypto and trade crypto. And so that was really exciting. And when DeFi emerged, that became this like great way where now everybody can participate, and there's so much innovation with the DeFi standard. And so, yeah, it's been really great to be in the DeFi space and just all the technology that has made that easier, that onboarding experience, and being able to bridge between, centralized exchanges like Coinbase to the DeFi space. It's been really, really amazing. One of the really cool things we did with Packet is created a yield vault that incentivized people to put liquidity into the
That's awesome.
And so there's 1 million coins per day that are paid out proportionally to people that are staking liquidity in the LP. And right now we have almost 80, we're about to cross the 80 liquidity provider number, which is pretty significant for how many people are providing liquidity. And then you can actually lock up those LP tokens and you can generate up to a 4x yield on those on your returns for locking it up for up to a year. And so now you have people that are putting liquidity into liquidity pool and then locking it up for extending periods of time and getting paid for it. It's super lucrative. I think it's at like 0.25% per day right now, and sometimes higher depending on how much of the liquidity you're providing. And it's a very deep liquidity pool. There's a $772,000 liquidity pool, so you could literally take your yields and sell them every day if you wanted to. There's enough depth there, and so that was just really a novel way to execute this, where we can make sure that this project has the liquidity it needs to grow and make sure that the incentives are aligned with people to participate.
That's awesome. And I noticed you keep it very accessible too, like all the data and all the information and all the education, because I get off stage and a lot of people still don't know what the hell crypto is and what's going on. They need like an entry early, like very easily understand project.
Yeah, no, that's been really one of my focuses, and I've been traveling around the world talking on stages and trying to help people just get into the space. It kind of sucks because there was this whole stigma that was created about how crypto's for criminals and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's just made it so like when people like hear the word blockchain, the first thing they do is just be like, I don't understand that thing, and so being able to like get people past that and make it very simple. I mean, I know you've been doing that your whole basically your whole life, or majority of your life. And for you too, like when you first started this, like there was like no man's land. There was no definition. There was no like
world.
Yeah. And I think that's been what's been exciting about the potential of regulation, because it's like, just tell me what's illegal and I won't do it. But like telling me you don't know, there's no clarity, like then we're just going to do whatever we think's not.
That's all we've ever wanted is clarity.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me on the show today here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we're really excited that you were able to join. You've always been a huge supporter, and we appreciate all the support that you've lent to us.
It's been my pleasure. Love you guys. I'll see you back in LA sooner, but down here in Florida.
Yeah.
What's up, Charlie? I wanted to jump on and say hello really quick. Just got in.
What's up, man?
Yeah, thank you so much for sitting with us today. I think in closing, yeah, you've been a great, advisor and a great friend all these years, and excited to work with you, continue to work with you on the movie stuff, and pioneering, everything that we're doing on the Packet side of things. And one of the cool things here with Packet is, while there's a lot of projects that are layer ones where people are building, they're blockchain projects on top of these layer ones, and there's so many different ecosystems now. I was just hearing that XRP is about to have an ecosystem, and
Oh my God.
I'm sure somebody's going to launch a meme coin on XRP. It's like, okay, great. Now another place to have meme coins. We got them on TRX. We got them on SUI. We got them on, ETH. We got them on Base. It's just like, okay, that's great. But what's like the real world applications, and with our passion being in the media space, and with there being so many entrepreneurs that are innovating across so many different sectors, I think that's what, really puts kind of Packet in a league of its own, being blockchain agnostic. It doesn't matter what cryptocurrency you're using, or if you're even using cryptocurrency. You could just be a traditional Web2 business, but you can be discoverable on the Packet network and use this infrastructure for, censorship resistance and decentralized internet, and global accessibility. Because the thing that gets me really excited is being able to have our movies globally accessible, without being geo-fenced, and limiting the money that we can make as, content creators by the, regional jurisdiction that particular platform, that's distributing our content has.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All over the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, we just want to make money. We want to make money
Make
globally.
movies make money. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. So look, it's exciting to be on this journey with you. It's unfortunate that Caleb is ill today, but thanks for, being here with us, Caleb, anyways, and listening in. We got a bunch of really cool releases coming up. Once the Packet domain registration begins, which, Caleb, is that launching this month? Is that your intent?
Yeah,
have that go live?
My intention is to get that out this month.
Okay. All right, cool.
It was nice to meet you, Charlie.
Thanks,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Thanks for being on the stream.
Take care. All right, cool. Well, that was awesome to have Charlie here. Thanks to all the community members and friends of the family on the Charlie side for joining us today and listening in, learning a little bit about PKT.
Yeah, jump into the Telegram and feel free to ask any questions. We're building a movement here, and we're excited to bring in community and people that are passionate about this next chapter of the internet and content and the ecosystem of crypto. So please jump in. We're all super active in the chat, and ask any questions, and we'd love to get in the mix with you.
Yeah, and the token's available. I was just going to say the token's available on Uniswap. So if anybody's interested in participating in the project, head over there. You can go on Dex Screener, Dex Tools. And I highly suggest everybody start staking to earn, add to the LP, get yourself a CJDNS node online. If you're in a, country that isn't, super, congested where nodes are, you earn more, especially domains. So we encourage community around the world to participate, and the further you are away from the masses, the higher your yields will be. So get yielding and staking, and enjoy this ride with us.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. And then, like I was going to say, with when the domain registrations come out, you can come in and grab your unique domain name. Caleb, do you just want to quickly say what gets you excited about this domain service that's about to go live? Like, what truly makes it unique?
Well, there's two perspectives. One is that you have a lot of times somebody will set up a website, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, and then at some point the regulators will come in on their horseback and take the domain, and they'll put up this splash page that says this website has been seized. And it's not to say that there shouldn't be a process at all, but that whole process of riding in on horseback and grabbing the domain to show off that your power is kind of it's a bad look. And with this system, I mean, there is no seizing a domain like that, because you're going to have like 30 domains, like cjd.pkt. everything, and so you'd have to go around and try to seize all of them, which is just unrealistic. So that's a nice aspect. And another nice aspect is that it kind of makes it easier for hobbyists, because for example, me, I have more servers than I would like to admit, and either you got to have domains for them, or you use subdomains. You buy one domain and use a bunch of subdomains, and with this system, I can have domains for each one, and those domains can point to whatever machines that I'm running, and it can point to their CJDNS nodes. So those machines don't even have to have public IP addresses in order for the domain to work. So those two elements are interesting to me about the domains. For a system administrator and for somebody who wants to be able to have a domain and have a little bit more process before the thing gets taken down. There's no you can't just call up VeriSign and tell them that they need to take down the domain. It's not quite that easy.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, you say hobbyist, but you also said system administrators, and that use case alone, just on the let's just say B2B use case, is incredibly valuable. I mean, a lot of major companies could find extreme value in that, and obviously you don't have to pay for it. You're getting being able to have all of your servers have unique domain names. They're all connected within the through CJDNS, and communicable, machine to machine. And we were talking about that yesterday, just being a really cool use case. Probably be smart to get a Medium post out around that particular use case and some of these other use cases for this network, because there's quite a few different aspects that make this unique and applicable. So I'm very eager to see how people end up using it, and some of the proliferation that is possible with this network.
And it's the only blockchain DNS system where the domains are publicly accessible. Namecoin and ENS and Handshake, and I don't remember all the others. None of them are publicly accessible. You always have to install software to use them. And this one, it will be publicly accessible based on the staking of the domain names.
Yeah, I mean, that's just so huge. It's sometimes we gotta like pinch ourselves to realize what we've been building here, and sometimes I obviously realize it's incumbent on marketing, but sometimes in the early stages you build some tech, and before it really takes off, it's hard to quantify how big and valuable that it can be. But yeah, just that use case alone is incredibly huge. You have projects like Unstoppable Domains, right, that raise hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and don't have that capability. So the little engine that could here, with big implications for resilience of not only resilience of a website, but also just the global accessibility of websites, for these websites not to be able to be declassified, de-emphasized, so that people can't discover them from a global standpoint. Is really powerful. So the PKT. So what do you call it, Caleb, where it's got the 3 levels to it, where it's cjd.pkt.agency? How would you refer to that type of website where it's got 3 words in it?
I guess it's a 3rd level domain, but
Third level.
I don't know about much.
Got it. Well, we're gonna popularize the 3rd level domain, and that'll be that'll be one of the things. I mean, obviously there's something sexy about just having, your name.pkt, but again, even if that was to be done and you were to, go through the process of getting that, then you still have, now the centralization around just the PKT, or .pkt. You have the, potential for centralization around that. So yeah, look, this is a great conversation, and very excited to get this tech live. What you're expecting, obviously, for domain registration to go live this week.
We'll see.
CJDNS
I'm not moving very fast right
or
now.
sorry, I meant this month. I know
Yeah.
you're not feeling well.
I was hoping to have it go out this week. I was actually hoping
I
to have it
remember, yeah.
today, but I got
Yeah.
thrown for a loop here with I'm in bed right now.
Gotta love the
all right,
internet.
well, yeah,
The gift that
you know,
keeps giving.
yeah.
Yeah, well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, as Jeremy said, PKT's trading on Uniswap. This project had gotten up to a $400 million market cap in the last bull run. So we're gearing up for this bull run that's happening now, building the tech that's needed, building the community. So love to have you all with us, and really appreciate all the people that tuned in and listened up on this lovely Wednesday.
Indeed.
We do this
Yeah,
every
man.
Wednesday, and we're going to start bringing in more luminaries. We were just talking about it. It was like we have some just absolute hitters that are involved in advising on this project, and we're going to start bringing them into the roundtables to get their perspectives, and so tune in every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, and we'd love to keep sharing all the progress. And jump in the Telegram as well.
And I highly suggest, for everybody who's on this space that doesn't, hasn't ever heard of PKT, go trip around on the website, connect your Web3 wallet, MetaMask or Coinbase wallet to the dashboard, and just, cruise around, check it out. I mean, it's some really cool tech that was built for this. The staking protocol is extremely legit, and everything's built on Base. And so it's just really cool. I mean, you literally, stake, buy some packets, stake it, and start earning. Obviously, now you have to pair your packet with infrastructure. But as Jesse and Josh have said, multiple times, it's as easy as going and getting a domain that's, PKT dot something. So like PKT dot capital dot forum dot AI or whatever, and using that and then you pair that with your stake. And you can pair unlimited amounts of packet with that domain stake, which is really cool. The CJDNS node is capped at $5,000. So if you're going to invest more than that, you're going to need multiple CJDNS nodes to be paired with your stake. But and also there's a new network steward that's out there right now for marketing. Do you want to kind of just
Yeah,
lightly
you're right. I should.
hop on
just
that
touch
and
on it.
kind of
Yeah, I'll just touch on it really quick. So we created 20% of all the yields that are accumulated on a daily, monthly, yearly basis are allocated to a network steward, and the network steward is elected by the community. So when you set up your stake, you can enter in a wallet address that's essentially your vote for who is going to become the network steward. And one of the things that this project has really needed is marketing, a marketing effort. Over the last 3 months, Caleb's been the network steward, and those funds have been allocated towards all the technology development and remunerating, his time, effort, resources to building all this tech that is now just, on the verge of launching, and some of it's already been launched. And then as of today, I believe it's today, right, Caleb? That network steward vote will shift to a proposal that myself and Jeremy and Josh put forth, and that will go, like I said, live today. An allocation of the network steward funds is still going to go towards Caleb and the ongoing technology development. And then another allocation of those funds is going to go towards marketing efforts. So we're bringing on, it's not a marketing agency, but it's a group that's going to come in and we're going to run a trial, 1-month trial with them. They would like a 3-month contract, so we'll either renew, or if they don't do a good job, then we'll move off. But really excited with what their proposal included. I included everything from their proposal into the Network Steward kind of application, if you will, or Network Steward proposal. So if anyone wants to go check that out, I posted it into the Network Steward channel on Discord, and I also posted it. Maybe Jared, we could pin it on the Telegram so people can find that post. We'll do that today, and you can go read the proposal. And we're just going to start making some moves. The goal is to get partnerships, marketing effort, which includes a lot of speaking engagements and building awareness in social media and beyond, and start driving, people into expanding this community both on Telegram and on X, doing more spaces, like what we just did today, and really just growing this thing. As Josh mentioned, the market cap for Packet was over 400 million in January 2022, and now that we're back into the impending bull run and altcoin season seems like it's really going to be forthcoming in 2025. We should be able to see Packet grow quite a bit, and just the utility and use case. This is not, it's not a meme coin. Although we do have a really cool kind of meme aspect to it that's just meant to be used as a storytelling, a tool for storytelling, marketing, and building connection within the community. But because we're talking about networking, it's not the sexiest stuff. A lot of people's eyes glaze over. So using, cool marketing for helping make it accessible seems like a great approach, and I think it's been really helpful so far. And yeah, and that's our goal. So hopefully we can get some good momentum this month, bringing on this team to help us on the marketing front, and then just continuing to make announcements, great partnerships, and doing our spaces every single month, and growing this, taking advantage of the fact that we weathered the bull market. We built unbelievable tech during the bull market, and in the bear market. Now we're in a bull market. Let's ride.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks boys for showing up, and we'll catch everyone.
Thanks to Charlie Shrem for joining the space, and to all you people who are on this 1,300 people, for an hour space with us. We really appreciate your time. And if you go into the PKT Telegram, you can see the Network Steward proposal. I just shared it. And if you have any questions, or you just want to chat, hop into the community, and let's get involved.
Let's go. All right.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Everybody.
Thanks for hosting, Chair. Okay.
Yeah.
Peace.